afternoon, my name is Ken Siggett and thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about electrical wiring when it comes to residential wiring, and we're going to talk about wiring duplexes today. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put my safety glasses on, so when I go to strip out my Romex, no striplets can hit me in the eye, or possibly if a wire gets away from me, it can slice my eye. We wouldn't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my utility knife and I'm going to take my piece of 14-2 Romex and I'm going to go ahead and strip it out. Now I'm going to go about a hand width. If you look right here, I'm going to mark my wire right back here. The reason I go about a hand width is because according to the NEC, you're not allowed to have more than 6 inches of wire in a box at a time. So if I had a single gang box here with me or an outlet, I wouldn't want to put more than that wire in there. If I did, I would have to trim it down because that's how boxes are rated when it comes to electrical work. So I've stripped off my outer sheathing here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my strippers, I'm going to find my proper gauge size, and I'm going to strip out my individual conductors. So I'm going to start with the neutral here, and what I'm doing is I'm doing just about a thumb width. If you notice as I strip that, this is just about a thumb width of material I've taken off or insulation I've taken off the neutral. The reason for that is that's going to come in handy when we go to make our loops. You want to have just about an inch, inch and a half worth of our actual conductor exposed. That way when I go to make my loop, just like so, what you see is that that bottom of that loop right here does not go past where the jacket still lies, where that insulator is. So I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to do my neutral as well. And as I bend this, I'm just keeping it tight right around that nose. If you notice the end of my strippers here, it has these nice little teeth. That's exactly what that is for. So again, I'll go real close for the ground for you. I'm just going to grab the very end right here. And then I'm just going to grab it. I'm just going to form it right around the outside into a small little hook, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is when you go to wire your duplex, okay, if you're doing this at home and it's already a pre-wired device, please turn off the breaker. It is safety first. There are no style points for wiring it with the power on. The idea is to go home happy and safe every single day. Obviously, I'm just using a random piece of 14-2 I have lying around the shop today. But when you go to wire this, we talked about the colors of the screw. You always want to start with the green screw first. That is your ground screw. So I'm going to take my bare copper, or my ground here, and when I loop this, I'm going to make sure that I loop it clockwise. What I mean by that is I want you to hook so that the opening to the loop goes from left to right. So as I put that underneath that screw, just like that, so you can see that it loops. So as I go to tighten the screw down, as that screw bears down or holds my Romex in place or my wire in place, as I tighten that down and snug that down, it's going to tighten that loop for me and not the opposite if I went from right to left and open it up and possibly have it come off. I'm going to give it a little tug and a shake. It's under there very firmly and securely. Next, I'm going to do the neutral. Again, so that process to wiring a duplex should go ground, neutral, hot. The reason for this is, again, I'm just using a random piece of Romex, but if I was working on a circuit that could possibly be turned on without me knowing it and become live, the hot wire is the one that's going to cause the most damage. We want to hook that one up last, just in case someone comes on and flips that breaker on that we're unaware of. We don't get a nice little poke. So again, I'm wrapping the screw from left to right. I'm going to hold it in place and tighten it down. As you can see, that screw hits that terminal, tightens it down very nicely. I'm also going to tighten down the one I'm not using. Okay, the reason for that is when I go to tuck it back in my box in a practical application on a home, I don't want this possibly contacting the side of a metal box, causing a direct short. Okay, I'm going to roll it around to my hot side or my gold screws. Okay, so if you're paying attention at home, it's green to ground, white to white, and then black to gold is what we're looking for. Again, looping left to right, tightening that down, doing the extra one. Okay, when I'm done, I like to look at the back of my device. If you look at it from the side here, you notice I don't have any exposed copper running all the way back here. If you do have exposed copper, like you don't see black and you see, again, the exposed conductor, you've stripped too much. That could cause a direct short. When you push it back in the box, it could contact this bare copper. So you want to keep it very close to the back of the device, just like this. You can see as my loop stops, my conductor is right in line with the back of my device, again, keeping it safe. Some people like to take tape and tape it around there. I don't feel it's very necessary unless you're dealing with an exterior box. Some people have asked me and wrote in, and they said, Ken, what are these holes in the back of the device for? Those are called stab locks. Now, I teach to loop and tighten down because this will hold much better than these stab locks. You can use them, but I find after 2, 3, 4 years of work, I'm coming back and having to re-loop them because the pins in there lose tension and your device stops working properly. Okay, I thank you for your time. That's how you wire a duplex. I'm Ken Siggett. Thanks for watching.